Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Mr. Clad here. This is take 5. The 4 videos that preceded this were no good. Everything from noises in the background to attacked by a cat to just it being too long. So try to make this one short and sweet. The last hunt we had a $250 box hunt from the bank. They had a full box of 500, would only sell me half. Went back to that bank today. I was in the area. They sold me $200 of halves that came out of the same box. Not sure if there's still another $50 left or if they sold it or what's going on there. They're really not very friendly to me, so I just take what I can get. So I got that box and I got a penny box also. And this was in roll 14. You can see nice crispy white, frosty white. And it is a 1964 Kennedy. So in the last box that we hunted, we had half the box. And I found a 64 Kennedy and I found a 44 Walker. And both of them looked just like this. And it's great. I love it. 20 rolls, found a 90%er. I would take that every single time. As you know, I find silver in about every 2 boxes. I find one, usually a 40%er. So out of 20 rolls, 64 Kennedy, yeah, we'll take that for sure. So that's going to be the only find that we had coin roll hunting. Now we're going to bring into some of the buys that I made. And this is a bag of war nickels. 46 war nickels. And when you're buying anything that's 35% or 40% silver, usually whoever's selling it to you, local coin store or your pawn shop or whomever, we'll round it down to the nearest quarter. So these are $1.39 a piece, spot price. So knocked them down to $1.25 a piece, and I said, okay, I don't own any war nickels, so let's own 46 of them. So 46 war nickels at $1.25 a piece. And I've probably called, I'm going to say 30 to 40 places in the last 2 days, just trying to find 90% silver at 20 times face, which is pretty much the standard. Anymore, it's 22 times at the least, 24 times, 25 times, even up to 27 times. I called a place today. They were selling Benjamin Franklin's for 25 times face, and they were selling Walking Liberties for 27 times face. And that to me is just too much. I really don't want to pay any more than 20 times unless silver hits $28, $29 an ounce. I really don't want to pay over 20 times. So these are the buys I was able to procure for 20 times face. So we'll show you here. And it's important that you call everybody. You know, pawn shops, some pawn shops, they buy silver and they just kind of hold it, maybe because the owner likes silver coins or likes bullion. But most of them really just want to turn a profit. Coin stores, again, you're going to buy coin shops and you're going to get the 22, 24, 25 times, that kind of thing. But it's just important just to call around, and eventually you'll find a place. So I bought these today from a collectible store. Store specializes in toys and comics and video games and any sort of 70s and 80s and 90s nostalgia. And called them and they said, yeah, we do have some coins. And this is the price. They were $6 a piece on quarters or 2 for 10. And they had Kennedys. And the Kennedys were $10 a coin. And they had 10 of those. And of course I said, hey, if I buy all 10, can you do any better? And they said no. So, all right, well, I'll go ahead and take them then. So from there, I bought 10 Kennedys, and I bought these quarters. And I did leave them with, I believe it was 3 or 4 quarters, and they were all from the 60s. If I buy quarters from the 60s, just because I made so many, I really want them to be super, super crisp and clean. And those ones, they weren't. They had been well around the block, so I decided to leave them. So we got a 54, a 50, a 37, a 42, a 57, a 46, a 51, a 44, and a 38. I would much rather have, 30s and 40s and even early 50s quarters than I would 60s quarters. Like I say, if I buy 60s quarters, they're going to have to be really, really crisp, really frosty white. Otherwise, I'm just going to leave them. And the same place also had this. And they had a little card in the showcase, and it said, Morgan dollars or peace dollars, $25. Sadly, all they had was just this one Morgan dollar. So I said, okay, I'll go ahead and take it. 1921, and as you can see, the details are there. I mean, the hairline, the hair, there is a contact mark by the eye and on the cheek. Liberty is fully legible. Rim looks pretty good. And it is an S. Probably can't see it, but that is an S mint mark. So $25, yeah, sure, I'll take it. Bring you into the next buy, and brought these into my local coin shop, and they're all Walking Liberties. And however you want to call it, junk silver, constitutional silver, whatever you want to call it. Got these today for 20 times face, and they're all walkers. There's a 17 and there's a 20. They're not in the greatest of condition, but they are all Walking Liberties. And most of the rest of these are 30s and 40s. And again, $10 a coin, so I went ahead and bought them. And then they also had all of these. Remember when I said I only buy 60s quarters if they're crispy? Well, here they are, with the exception of maybe this one here and this one here. They are all crispy, pretty crispy. 64 quarters, every one of them. There's 3 pages of 30, so there's 90 of them. So I paid $5 a coin. So that's $450. And there were, I believe there were 37 of the Walking Liberties that were $10. So that was $370. And then I went to a Antiques Mall, and they had 4 or 5 different booths that had coins, and they were all just completely ridiculous. Just completely ridiculous, except for one. One of them had 3 Kennedys, and I'm not sure which 3, so I'm just going to throw 3 down. I know for a fact this one was in one of them. But they had 3 Kennedys. They were $10 a piece. I went ahead and bought them. And as you can see, this one here is really toned. I mean, that is, to me, this is gorgeous. The white frosty one's great. But you know what? You give me one of these. Oh, yeah. I like it. And it's silver. You can see the side. There's no red copper clad. When it drops down, you can hear it. You can hear it ting. Not going to drop it. If I dropped it higher, it would ting a lot more, but it is in fact silver. But I just love that look. Nice. Kind of like a gunmetal gray almost. In the last buy, I went to a coin shop that I'd never been to before. I'm going to try to get this one right because I did mix my facts here. But I bought... This is what it was. Benji. Yep. I bought these Walking Liberties and those Benjis. And these are all 52 Benjis. Most of them are D mint marks. One of them is an S and one of them doesn't have a mint mark, so it's a Philadelphia. And then the walkers are all 42 walkers. And as you can see, they're average condition. This one is pretty average. This one is a little bit nicer. This one's a little bit nicer here, as you can see. It's got a lot of details. You can make out the feathers and everything. And again, called him on the phone. He said he was at $11 on halves and $6, $6.25 on quarters. I was only 20 minutes away, so I decided to just stop in and sort of try to make a new relationship. And there were two people who were looking through the 90% silver and really not going to buy anything. And once they got done with it, he passed it to me. And I just said, how much for all of them? And he said, take them all $10 a piece. So I said, okay, fine. So I took them all $10 a piece. And that's 20 times. So this video is already about 11 minutes long. So I'm going to make a second video. And that video is just going to kind of give you some insight on how I think you should be managing your silver stacks. More or less just free advice. Obviously, I'm not a financial manager or anything like that. Just a few things that maybe you could do just to help yourself. Maybe make a little extra money every week like we're all trying to make. And improve your stack at the same time. So that's what the next video is going to be. And until then, I hope that all of your hunts are great hunts. And you all find nice frosty 64 Kennedys like I did. There you go. And until then, Mr. Clad, out.